Hello there and welcome to another live chapter reading for Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Today I shall be reading from Mariekkela, From Finland with Love by Stu Ledwith. A dream within a dream. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, this much let me avow. You are not wrong who dream that my days have been a dream, yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the last gone, and that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream? Edgar Allan Poe. Forward. Have you had one of those dreams that just would not leave you? Ever met someone in a dream and then met them in waking life? Or learned something completely relevant to your life that somehow showed itself to you in a dream? If not you, perhaps you know someone who has. Dreams are such an interesting part of life. Are they simply the processing of daily experiences? Or can they become more? Can dreams bring us to knowledge that we would not otherwise have? Dreams connect time and space for us in ways different to those experienced when awake. Everyone knows the interesting possibilities in dreams that we do not experience when awake, jumps in time and or space that we may not even be physically possible, as far as we know. Dreams also connect possibilities with realities in unexpected ways. Sometimes they connect one soul with another. This story shared here is all this and more. Dr. Stu takes us into a sometimes difficult but always enchanting story. We follow Mariekkela and her love, Kari, through the sometimes graphic horrors of war long ago, then through time and space from one lifetime to another. We learn that Mari and Kari bring some experiences and ideas from one lifetime to the next, and it explains so much. Dr. Stu moves us through Mariekkela's story, allowing us to ride along, observing, asking questions of ourselves as we go. What happens after death? If another human lifetime, then what happens between lives? We discover so much from Mari's story about unconditional love, about atonement, and learning from lifetime to lifetime. Mariekkela may raise questions that go beyond the story being told. Luckily, we have Dr. Stu's earlier book, The History of the Universe, As My Soul and I Remember, to shed light on the bigger questions that may arise. We can use the lessons from Mari and Kari to bring greater understanding to our own lives, exploring unconditional love and embracing what it truly means, allowing the possibilities of seeing and being so much more, connecting with our souls, the beauty within and universal love. That's a tall order from a short book, yet this is precisely what Dr. Stu offers us. Read the story, ask questions, listen as your soul answers. Valerie Luzadis, PhD, March 2021. Introduction. It isn't often in our lives that a dream so intense and repetitive comes along that we feel the need at some point to find its origin, its intention and meaning, then act on it. Such a vivid dream came to me and I chased it around the world for years, with a trip to Finland, the land of my origin, of my dream, and then to realise years later that my trips to Vietnam as an infantry soldier would help explain the second part of the dream, and even later to meet in person the soul involved in my dream. Greetings, friends, welcome to my dream. Many years ago, from age 10 to approximately 17 years of age, I had a recurring dream. Each night in deep sleep, I would dream that I was a soldier in the Finnish army fighting the invading Russians in the 1939 Winter War. The dream always opened with feelings of a warm fire from a sauna, though at age 10 I didn't have a clue what a sauna was. The sauna seemed to be in a barn-like structure. Most of my attention was focused on what or who felt like the love of my life, a young lady named Mariekkela. We were very amorous and having a good time with each other in the sauna. I remember several other soldiers and their girlfriends being in the background of the dream. It was at this point in the dream that we heard the Russians approaching, and I was running butt naked for my rifle, which was leaning on the wall by the door. I remember stepping outside and taking a life-ending bullet to my right temple area. I remember being terribly angry that I was killed again by Russian communists. This was not okay with me, or as I've come to learn, not okay with my soul. He remembered being killed early in Russia as communism was being born in the Bolshevik Revolution. He felt it would be a scourge upon the earth and must be stopped at all costs, even if it cost him his life for a second time. I felt it might be more appropriate to tell this story through the eyes of my love in the dream, Mariekkela, pronounced Mariekkela. Her story seemed more important to me, and I didn't want her legacy lost in history. The beginning of the book will describe her life in Finland and her part in my dream, our dream in reality. It will describe those wonderful Laplanders involved in her months of healing from the atrocities of war. Mariekkela was a casualty of the 1939 Winter War, as was I. The Russian army invaded Finland along its entire Karelian border. They had recently invaded Poland with little resistance and expected the same from Finland. To their surprise, the poorly equipped and outnumbered Finnish army fought them to a standstill in the brutally cold winter months of November 1939 through April 1940, at which time a truce was called and Russia took over much of the southern Karelian isthmus, leaving the rest of Finland intact. Then we will move on from our Finnish lives as they ended to living our lives together as free souls, or if you will, souls without bodies. You will see us creating our next adventures and finalising tying up all the loose ends from our lives on earth in Earth's finished bodies. And lastly, our story will concern itself with our present lives and how we have chosen to live them and why. Sit back and enjoy turning the pages. Mariekkela, her soul Marie and I will be with you every step of the way. Our story, our dream within a dream, begins with Mariekkela's bruised, beaten and near-dead body being discovered and taken to a nearby home to be cared for. Sala, Finland, East Karelian border, 1939. Hey Ruva Virtanen. Greetings, Mrs. Virtanen. How is our patient today? Hey Lakari. Hi, doctor, she is the same. She has yet to open her eyes, though I notice her eyes moving fast under her eyelids when she gets really restless and starts kicking her feet. She has suffered some great trauma. She was severely beaten and brutalised by the Russian soldiers who left her to die in that freezing cold barn. I know you come every few days to visit and examine her. However, it has been 3 weeks now since you brought her to me, and I'm getting worried she'll not wake up. I suspect she'll be comatose a while longer. At least she's dreaming and probably reliving the trauma of being beaten so severely. It probably hurts so much she can't yet bear to feel it while she is awake. I've been doing as you have asked. Every hour or so I put water under her tongue and get her to swallow it by blowing in her face. I bathe her often and keep moving her body from front to back and side to side. I have been sleeping with her to keep her warm at night. It does get really cold in here. We have soldiers attached to the hospital who ferry volunteers to and from the hospital. They deliver food to needy locals as well. I will have them bring you some dry wood and coal to burn at night. The hospital burns coal for heat and the Laps who run the hospital will be happy to share some with you, I'm sure. Do you have food enough? Oh, Captain, sir, any help you can offer I will gladly take. Caring for our patient takes a great deal of my time, and I have no time to go to the market or to haul wood from the lot. My husband is long dead now and I have been alone. At least our sweet young lady here has been keeping me company, and I feel alive again helping someone such as she. I must go care for the rest of my sick and wounded soldiers now. I'll be by another day to check on our young lady. With that he did a quick exam to check on his patient's wounds. The black and blue marks covering her body were now fading to green and yellow, a sign she was healing. The knife cuts slashing her labia seemed to be healing as well as all the initials carved into the skin on her belly and buttocks. Mrs. Virtanen was keeping her very clean. He knew she'd be scarred for life and probably not make love again, though there was nothing more he could do about it. The deep bark marks on both breasts were still present and prominent, probably deep tissue damage there. The boot prints on her back and kidney areas were still obviously healing. His thoughts turned to the hatred of the invading Russians even more. He dearly loved to get his hands on the Roistoja, the scoundrels who did this to her. He so hoped she'd open her eyes soon and told Mrs. Virtanen so as he was about to leave. Ole Varovainen, Siellä Lääkäri. Be careful out there, doctor. I will be expecting your soldier's delivery soon. She ushered him out the door with a pat on his back. In the distance they could hear the exploding shells being fired by the Russians. He turned and hugged her and she welcomed it. He started his ski truck and was off to fight the war that raged inside and outside himself. He'd be back in a few days to check on his precious patient. He had come to love her these past several weeks and he still didn't know her name or where she came from. Now he was needed on the front lines to care for his wounded men, his fighting Finns. I hope you enjoyed the chapter reading and that you'll go check out the book. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.